Takeaways from week 2 of the NFL season, and I have 5 that I really want to focus on because I think they're the 5 that won't get enough attention because mainstream media is just going to tell you about, and I guarantee this, wow, Tom Brady's still really good. That's gonna be one of the biggest headlines. And the other is gonna be, as much as I love it, but I've already talked about him, it'll be, wow, did you see what Denver did to Dallas? We already know those are going to be the 2 things that are talked about. So I'm going to give you 5 things mainstream media won't talk about, and these are my takeaways from week 2 of the NFL season. Number 1, the Chargers are still the Chargers, whether in San Diego or Los Angeles. I don't know what it is about this team or what it is just about this era, but the post-LT era, the Chargers have not been able to close out a game in years. This isn't just a this year thing. It isn't just a last year thing. Do you realize in the post-LT era, the Chargers had a season where they had the number 1 offense and defense in terms of yards and missed the playoffs? Wow. Worst first and fourth quarter point differential in the league in the last 4 years. Second and third quarter, they are great. They are fantastic. They're amazing. And then you get to the fourth quarter, not so much. But yet, we call Phillip Rivers. This is why Phillip Rivers is not truly a Hall of Famer in my opinion, because while he's going to have Hall of Fame stats, he does not have Hall of Fame dominance nor a Hall of Fame resume in terms of his performance. The numbers are there, but they're kind of flaky. Number 2, the Seahawks, which I predicted in the beginning of the season, but I still had them in the playoffs. I no longer think are going to be in the playoffs. I no longer think they are I've lost it. Like, they're done. Like, I now am switching my picks. Like, personally, I had the Seahawks in the playoffs. I'm now moving to the Rams. Do you realize, and people are going to say, oh, you're crazy, the Rams aren't going to make it. Do you know how many touchdowns the Seattle Seahawks have this season? 0. The Cincinnati Bengals, most people would probably say, is one of the 5 worst teams in the league so far this year. Oh, how many touchdowns do they have? 0. You guys understand, the Jets put up 20 points yesterday. That's more than the Seahawks have put up in 2 games. No, I apologize. In 2 games, the Seahawks have put up 21. The Jets are really bad people. The Bengals are really bad people. The Seahawks, they're pretty bad people. Number 3, the AFC West is still the best division by far. And yesterday was a perfect example of finally ending the argument between the AFC West and NFC East. What did they do? The Chiefs beat the Eagles, even though they tried to give the game away at the last second, beat them, and more or less dominated the game and then exploded in the fourth quarter. Broncos put a beat down 42-17 on the Cowboys. The Chargers, we're just not going to talk about them. And then the Raiders did what they're supposed to do against a team like the Jets and put up 40-plus points on them and made them look like they weren't even in the same league. The AFC West has 3 2-0 teams, has, you could make a case, the best offense in Oakland, the best defense in Denver, and the best put-together overall team in Kansas City. Number 4, Sean McVay can coach. I'm not going to predict his record. I'm putting them in the playoffs default because Seattle, I think, has come so far back down. But look in the 2 games. Don't throw out the stats. When you're coached well, you look like you're confident. You look composed. You look poised. You look like you know what to expect. It's like a good teacher when you're helping a kid study for a test. A kid who's not prepared looks nervous, takes his time, usually turns one of his tests in last. Kid who did study, a teacher who did help their students approach it confidently. They're ready. Jared Goff and Todd Gurley look 10 times different than they did last year. Like, they look like completely new players. Sean McVay can coach that offense. He can coach that team. He's got the respect to that team. And regardless of where they finish, even if they don't make the playoffs, even if his record's not the best, that man's proven he can coach. And I think he's only like 17 years old. Number 5, Deshaun Watson is much more Tim Tebow than he is Andrew Luck. people are going to sit there and say, oh my gosh, how can you say that? But look at his performance in the first game and a half. You know who he's played a lot like? Tim Tebow. Not a great completion percentage. Much better in the fourth quarter. Oh, yeah. And he's running really well right now. He just broke Tebow's record for the longest run by a quarterback in their debut. Tebow's was 30. Deshaun Watson's was 40. And it was a great run. He doesn't look super accurate, which shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Did you see all the interceptions he threw in college? He's not prototypical size. He's not prototypical arm strength. He's got a kind of weird delivery, but he's got intangibles, and he's a winner. Oh, wow. It almost sounds like I just described Tim Tebow. Now, I have nothing wrong with it, but there's a lot of people that will. But Deshaun Watson is showing he's clearly more Tim Tebow than he is an Andrew Luck or a franchise quarterback. I still like him. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes. Also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. If you'd like to see more videos, click right here on my chest. And I will see you guys next time.